Hi guys, welcome to A to Z United. Manchester United have defeated Newcastle United 4 goals to 1. What an emphatic victory. This was a result that was needed to bounce back from the previous defeat against Spurs, a result that was needed to improve the mood at Old Trafford, and a result that was needed, more importantly, for gaining those 3 points, much needed points, for Manchester United in the Premier League. I'm joined by Ankit over here. Hello, Ankit. It's always nice to have you here. So, Ankit, what did you make
Thank
about
you.
the performance and result?
Yes, first of all, I think the 3 points
Come
that we
on.
got yesterday, yes, the 3 points that we got yesterday, I think are emphatic because it just breaks the poor run form that we are going through. And moving forward, the matches that we have lined up, I think it is a boost for all these matches. As we discussed in the last video as well, that this is like a platform or a boost up a game where we need to win and just boost up our confidence because most of our players are just lacking confidence and match fitness, and that is the reason this win in such a style was very much needed for the team. To just summarize the game as a whole, when the first goal went in, I just saw De Gea just let the goal get in a slow mode, and I thought, oh my god, here we go again. This is again Spurs written all over it. But I think I like the aggression. I like the intensity in which they came back into the game after the first goal. The goal that Bruno scored was excellent. The one which was ruled offside, that was excellent. That was an excellent finish. But unfortunately, it was offside. Mata was offside. Harry Maguire then equaled up for us, and then afterwards we just kept going. I like the intensity very much. The team never gave up. They tried. It showed that they had the courage in them. They had the belief in them that they will go and win this match. Uh, just to talk about players, I think Bruno stood out for me in this match. Uh, Bruno, Mata, when Wenderby came on, Rashford, I think they were the pivotal players because of which we won the match yesterday. Uh, Speaking of Bruno, he missed a penalty uh, that we had, and I thought, oh my god, this is one of the games where it is like we will create a load of chances and the game might finish a draw, or Newcastle might nick one at the last minute just like Brighton did. And I think it was getting very edgy in the last 10 to 15 minutes. But yes, the quality of Bruno Fernandes, I think he has made a lot of change in this squad. He has just not brought the game up. He has just changed the whole mentality of the team around him. And when he has players around him like Mata, Pogba, Van de Beek, Rashford, a lovely 1-2 pass here and there, I think he will find spaces and he'll score goals and assists for fun. He was the change. He was the game changing player, the man of the match for me, and his brilliant goal, the second goal that he scored, which put us in the driving seat. I think that was the key moment in the match. I just saw when the goal was scored, Rashford was going inside. He was also cutting
Mhm.
inside, but then he saw someone run out here. I think it was Mata, and just changed his direction. Rashford played a lovely ball, just a good back heel, and he scored. Uh, so yeah, I think I am very much impressed with the overall performance that we did today. What are your comments? What do you think? How did you fare?
I feel our intensity was pretty much spot on in this particular game. We needed this intensity and the energy to play today, to bounce back from the defeat against Tottenham Hotspurs. And, I have a few statistics over here.
Mm-hmm.
When we started this Premier League season, we played pretty poorly against Crystal Palace. And then
Correct.
we won, an away game against Brighton. But even that match was also pretty poor. Brighton could
Very
have
close.
scored
Yeah,
7 to 8 goals easily.
easily
And
correct.
then the game against Tottenham Hotspurs, of course, that's a game to forget. But that's one for the history books as well. So obviously, fans alike across the world, pundits also, they were also thinking, how is Manchester United going to respond in this game? But if you look at the
Mm-hmm.
few statistics yesterday, we dominated the game in possession 64% to 36%
Mm-hmm.
for Newcastle. We had about 28 shots. We took 28 shots, out of which 15 shots were on target compared to their four
Yeah.
shots. We had 10 shots off target and we had three shots which were blocked. So 28 shots in this game. Now, I
Yeah.
think this shows that Manchester United not only came to St. James Park just to win the game, they wanted to say that they wanted to make a statement. They wanted to say
Correct.
that we are not here just to win. We are here to make a statement saying that we are going to challenge this. We are going to challenge for the Premier League title, or we are going to go far away. We'll be at least going pretty far
Mhm.
away. So, and if you notice that after Donny van de Beek came in the final 10 minutes, we
Mm.
scored those three
Yeah.
goals.
He
But
made the
prior
difference.
to
Yeah.
that, yes, he made the difference. The score until then was 1-1. And
Mhm.
after he came, we scored about three goals, and the score came to 4-1. But I think we should not forget the contribution of Newcastle United's goalkeeper. If that goalkeeper
Mm.
was not there, then the Newcastle United
It was easily 7 or 8. Yeah.
easily
It was
seven,
easily
eight,
seven or
ten
eight. Yeah.
goals. So the point
Yeah.
is that when Donny van de Beek came, it felt that okay, Newcastle were in the game. But to be fairly honest, if you look at the number of shots as well, even before Donny van de Beek or even Pogba had
Yeah.
come, the team was just running away and then creating loads of chances. So I think that was a pretty good sign from
Hmm.
yesterday's game. And Ankit,
Correct.
speaking of Bruno Fernandes has now scored,
My man of the match.
yeah, man of the
That is
match.
why. That is the reason I have got it in the background.
Oh, that's wonderful. And for the viewers over here, what I would like to say is that Bruno Fernandes has basically been directly involved in 20 goals in the Premier League in the
Hmm.
last 18 Premier League games. So the 20 goals is basically 11 goals and 9 assists, which is basically second after the former ex Sunderland striker Kevin Phillips. So Ankit, Bruno
Oh.
Fernandes has really been a fantastic player, a captain on and off the field, the way he makes his statement, and he's been a major factor as to how our results have been improved over the previous few months, right?
Hmm.
And so that's good. So now, what did you make of the lineup, Ankit, when the lineup was declared against Newcastle?
So just when the lineup showed up, I think I just texted you saying that it was a very balanced squad, because playing Mata and Daniel James on the wings, I think that was sort of a gamble. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the tactics and the system right in this game, because if you see, we touched based on this point in the last video as well. Aaron Van Bissaka is not good going forward, but in this game he scored a goal as well, and he created a handful of chances. So if Aaron Van Bissaka does this each and every game, or consistently on consistent basis, I think the right hand side problem is solved, because we might have Rashford playing over there when we have Cavani available and he can play as a striker. Though that will really help Aaron Van Bissaka as well as Rashford. So yeah, I was pretty much impressed with Aaron Van Bissaka, with Mata in particular, because I don't know, I didn't think that Mata will play such a good game, because he doesn't have the pace as of now, but the intelligence, the passing ability, the passing range that he has is magnificent. Even at his age, I think he can find passes which normal league players cannot find. So
Mhm.
yeah, Meta made a very huge difference. And yes, as you said, Donny Van de Beek, when he came on the pitch as a substitute, I think he also made a difference with the one-two touch passes that Bruno, him, and Mata played. So yes, Bruno is the man, guys. Nowadays, Bruno is the man.
Yes, and speaking of Mata as well, the link-up play between Mata and Bruno was pretty
Hmm.
amazing to watch.
Yeah.
There was more creativity on the park, and I think this was that sort of a team where Ole was also suggesting. Generally he used to put out Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, and Greenwood, which are pretty pacey. In terms of
Hmm.
so you could either have those counter-attacking sort of players, or you could play Mata and Donny van de Beek and get those more creative elements in the squad. My initial reaction, of course, was exactly to think what system is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trying to play. When the
Yeah.
team
Hmm.
had the team sheet had come up. But then when you noticed our game against our fourth round EFL victory against Brighton,
Hmm.
and you notice that you had Mata and Daniel James on the wing. You had the midfield
Hmm.
pairing of Fred as well as McTominay. So you had this robustness in the midfield. You know for a fact that okay,
Correct.
this
Yeah.
midfield is not going to get overrun pretty fast. But
Mm.
of course, in that game you had Odion Igalo as a striker and Donny van de Beek. But over here, you had Marcus Rashford and Bruno
Rashford,
Fernandes.
yeah.
So that was that kind of gave me a positive impression, saying that you know what, we might be there, we might be having some control in this game. But of course, you know, in the
Mhm.
first 2 minutes when we considered those own goal, I was like, I think
I was literally shattered. I was literally shattered. I thought, oh my god, this is getting worse. It is getting just worse, and it is going downhill for Solskjaer. But the aggression and the intensity the team showed after that was immense.
pretty
Was
amazing,
very terrific. Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
amazing. And some good
And
news here.
just to
Yeah,
touch, yeah, just to touch base on the
yeah, sorry.
point of the robust midfield, Fred and McTominay. Not McTominay in particular, but Fred. I think he is a very underrated player at United. The job he does, passes, just he's the engine of the team. When you play him alongside McTominay or Matic, he will give you 100% every time. We had a game last year with Liverpool. I think he was the best player on the pitch for both the sides,
Mhm.
Fred. So yeah, he's the engine. He's like he'll make the tackle. He'll just pass the ball around. He'll just keep the things moving. He just gets the team going forward. He just makes everything tick. So I think Fred is quite underrated. Yes, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer uses him. He used him against the Europa League clashes. I think he should use him more frequent with Matic as a pairing or maybe McTominay, because Pogba came on for the last 15-20 minutes and he didn't look very good. He got bullied off the ball. He gave the ball away. You can play Fred at that position as of now.
And that's a very good point, Ankit, because you know what I would like to know is, if you notice the midfield pairing of Fred and McTominay, they were the same midfield pairing that was used last time against PSG, our last game in PSG, the away win that we had, you know, 3-1.
Okay. Okay.
So we had
Uh-huh.
Fred, McTominay, and of course the third person was Pereira. But regardless, they were also pretty robust in that pairing. But here's the thing, you know, before, you know, when Pogba was injured before the pandemic's break, when we went
Mm-hmm.
on you know, the 14 match unbeaten winning run before the break, we had that 14 match. I think it got extended to 18 or 19 games. And when we went on to win that game, we had Fred and McTominay paired with Bruno Fernandes, who was acting as the
Mm-hmm.
pivotal attacking, you know, the person over there. So you know, there has been a lot of talks, and you know, where people are saying that Fred, McTominay, and Bruno is going to be the ideal midfield partnership than having, say, Pogba over there. You could of course fit Van de Beek, but you know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't started Van de Beek yet, so we are not sure as
Mm-hmm.
to how that's going to look like. But for now, you know, Fred, McTominay, and Bruno has been really, and we saw in yesterday's game as well the way the midfield was getting controlled. You know, Newcastle just couldn't
Mm-hmm.
come out of their midfield element. They couldn't even come out of their final third. Newcastle, you know,
Yeah.
that was a nature
They
of the
just
game.
had one chance that De Gea saved and
Hmm.
a lucky goal, a deflected goal. Apart from that, they did great anything.
They did not create anything exactly. So, do
Yeah.
you think that going forward, we should consistently be having Fred, McTominay, and Bruno,
Depends.
of course?
Depends. Yeah. Depends on what teams you are facing. Depends upon what system or tactical formation you want to play. It all depends upon the manager and the coaching system. Because Pogba can play that role, but he's not good defensively. We have discussed this quite a lot often, and everyone knows it. He's not good defensively. He'll create. He'll just pass. He'll spray the ball around 45 yards and create a chance, get a through ball. But that is needed when the opposition is not as good as PSG or Leipzig or maybe Chelsea. There you need defensive robustness, which McTominay, Fred, or Matic provides. So the ideal replacement for Bruno Fernandes is Pogba.
Pogba.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
if you see yesterday's game, he took off Fred for Pogba, and still we didn't control the game. I think we controlled the game just when Donny Van de Beek came in. We got the second goal, and then things look quite solid. So yes, it depends upon which team you are playing and what formation you want to play and what style of football you want to play. So it
Mhm.
all depends upon that.
And you know, that basically loading the midfield with all creative players, because if you notice, Donny Van de Beek, Bruno Fernandes, and Mata were so much
Hmm.
pivotal for the second goal. especially.
Yeah.
Right, for
Yeah.
the
Correct.
Fernandes goal, the second goal. Donny van de Beek was fantastic in finding Mata. It was I wouldn't say classic counter attack, but it was a pretty good counter attack. And
It
Mata's
was,
first
yeah,
time
it was
pass
good.
to Rashford, and then Rashford running and Bruno following on and then scoring the second goal. So that was pretty good one. And of course, we've seen Pep Guardiola deploy all these creative midfielders in the middle of the park to control the game as well. You have Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, and Phil Foden, who sometimes acts as the attacking over there. Even this seemed like a good tactic as well, where you had Mata, Donny van de Beek, and Bruno Fernandes all controlling the midfield. Right now,
Correct.
speaking of statistics, Ankit, I think there's a pretty wonderful statistics to have, and I would like to share this to all our viewers as well. That this is the first time in Manchester United's history where we have successively won 6 away games in the Premier League in a row.
Okay.
So congratulations to the team to do that, and thanks to the the penalty which we were awarded in Brighton, or else
Oh.
this wouldn't have happened. But we've had 5 consecutive wins, away wins in the Premier League several times, but this is the first time we have won 6 away wins in a row. You know, and of course, Ankit, speaking on the performance as well, Marcus Rashford, 2 assists and a goal. Bruno Fernandes, 1 goal and
Mhm.
assist. Harry Maguire, very happy for him. He had a really solid game at the back.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
also scored the equalizer, 1 goal. And
Correct.
so according to you, and Aaron Wan Bissaka as well. We had a pretty bonus goal, for him as well. So
Mhm.
according to you, who is the man of the match? What do you think?
The man behind Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is a
Yeah,
crystal
just
clear.
just just to talk on Harry Maguire, I think we all thought, all our fan base, even we spoke in our last video as well, that he needs dropping, he needs rest. But kudos to Solskjaer that he played him, and he performed well. He performed quite decent yesterday. He got the all important goal to equalize, and he looked okay. He looked solid at the back. I hope he continues. He gets back to his usual ways. The run that we had in our defense, where he was very stable with Lindelof, I think we need to get that back for the upcoming key features.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely, Ankit. Manchester United are going to face some really tough fixtures in the future,
Mhm.
and so this win obviously gave us the 3 points. And currently, Manchester United are sitting in 14th position, 4 games, 6 points, two
Mhm.
wins, and 2 defeats, of course. And hopefully, we continue and build on this particular run. So some pretty wonderful insights on today's game between United and Newcastle, which is pretty much it was a good performance all round and a much needed boost for the players as well. So more of the match reactions and previews to come on this particular channel. And what I would like to say, tell the users is, if you could get this, if you could, once we reach 50 subscribers, if you could get this channel to 50 subscribers,
Yeah.
we would definitely have, we'll bring in at least 1 or 2 subscribers into our channel, and we'll have this open discussion about football, Manchester United, and even Premier League teams in general, as a matter of fact. So please stay tuned. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll be logging on. Thank you so much, Ankit, for joining. Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.